I will reassign seats as I see necessary. There must be at least 2 boys and 2 girls at every table.
Come on.
That was the worst.
You have about 30 seconds left to figure it out. Ladies, what can I do for you, and why are you here late?
I have to go get a binder.
From where?
Weird.
Where is your binder now?
In the locker.
Why did you push your binder in your locker? We are about to hold class. You will need your binder.
Step in the locker.
Okay, you need to go back to your locker and get your binder. Go ahead. Thank you. We will have to take into consideration those two. They can have a CCA. I am going to reassign seats, and you will not get to choose where you sit because you have not met every requirement. There are not 2 boys at every table. Unless you'd like me to give you 30 more seconds to figure it out.
How is that table?
You got a couple more seconds to figure this out. There have to be at least 2 guys at every table. 10, 9, 8,
We need girls up
7, 6, 5.
Wait, which table?
There can be only there. We got a lot of boys that need to move, or you're not going to sit anywhere. I will purposely put you not next to who you're with next to right now if we don't have this figured out.
Get up over there.
8,
There's 3 guys.
7, 6, 5,
You can sit. Easy
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's check to see how we do. Every table should have no more than 5, and at least 2 boys and 2 girls. This table checks out. Which table are you at? Let's make it obvious that you're at this table and not at this table. Okay, thank you. That one checks. Good. This one works. Okay. Okay. Good job, guys. Thank you. Out of curiosity, raise your hand with a 5. If you're like, I'm totally down where I'm sitting, this is fine. 1 if you really, really want to move somewhere. Hold up your hand. If I don't see your hand, I will assume you really want to move somewhere. Looks like most of us are content. A couple of ones, but most of us are content. Okay? Remember, you chose your seats. I'm going to move a couple people though. We're going to take this entire table and we're going to switch it with this entire table. Go ahead and flop now. Okay. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we move on to anything else, I want to tell you a little bit about you and a little bit about me. Okay? First of all, here we go. You have a chair? You can grab one from back there. It'll be fine. A couple of years back, our school's administrators asked each of the teachers to take a little survey. It was a little quiz about themselves to learn a little bit more about them. So I took this quiz and I learned a little bit about me. And it was interesting because after I looked at the results, I thought, yeah, that's actually true. So what I learned about myself is that I am not interested in taking people who are like my students, who don't know how to do something, and teaching them how to do something so they can kind of do it. That's not fun for me. I don't like that. I like taking people who can either do something or can't do something and making it so that they're really good at stuff. I like them not just to be okay, I like them to be excellent. That's why I like teaching, because I like seeing it when students are able to do amazing things. I guarantee every one of you that you can do amazing things. It's not going to be super easy, but we're going to learn a lot of stuff in this class, and I want you all to know I expect everyone at this table and everyone at every table to do some amazing stuff. Thank you. I don't know who a lot of you are yet, but I'll get to know you as the year moves on. we have someone named Ashley Narana. Is that correct? No? This is in Beer's class, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. I'll take care of this later. What questions do you have so far? Questions?
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
What and specifically, what do you think what amazing things do you think we can do?
I want to find out what you like. And I think that you are able to, mostly I think you're able to do more than you probably think you can. I think that most people, when you push them a little bit, are able to do even more than they think they can do. In this class, we'll talk a little bit about the kind of things we're going to do in class, but I expect that everyone will have everything turned in. I expect that when I look at your stuff, it'll look good, and some of it will be entertaining. We're going to do some media stuff in here that'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully it'll be fun for all of us to watch together. I'm excited. So, you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Okay, we got this. Let's do this. So I'm going to turn off the lights here. We have two girls that went out to go get a planner. They're going to Ryan, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so when they come back, they're going to need a place to sit. We have a couple of tables with 4 people. That's this one and this one. We're going to put one of them here and one of them there. Would you grab a chair? And would you, one of you, grab a chair up there so that when they come in, I can just point them to a place? A lot of teachers have different places where they write their EQs. Mine are always on the television here. You see this? So what I want you to do is I want you to pull out your planner and write the EQ. You'll notice that after the EQ, you'll find the individual practice or homework. And after that, it's just quick for like an idea of what we're going to be doing today. So this is the homework before it's EQ. And let me tell you about when I check your planner, what I want to see. I don't want to see just my class in your planner. I should see my class and every period before this class. If you have not written in first period or second period yet, please fill it in now. It'll be easier to remember now than it will be later. I will come check in about 30 seconds. I want to make sure that your planners are written. So start writing. Today's rules. What are the rules of Mr. Pettit's class? That's the EQ. Also make sure first and second period are filled in. The ethics question, if you want for homework, just to write ethics question, that will be the homework.
What is that?
We may not get to it today. Hopefully we will. We shall see. I'll know you're finished when your pencils are down. Okay, everyone take your finger and point to your essential question so I can see it. Right, here we go. Good, good. Getting it? Good. You need your homework? Next question. Good. Next question. Excellent, 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 excellent. Good job. You got it, fill in. You don't have any homework written here. If you didn't have any homework, write none. Or if you did, make sure you write it. Good. Getting it? Who's there? Anything for that? No? Good, good. Okay. Good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Whoa, no, no, no. That's all I have to. Filled in. You got it. Fill in what you wrote. Remember what you did. Good. Okay. Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay. All right, I will not check every day, but I will check randomly on various days. Just make sure you have it written down. Okay, here we go. It's going to be exciting. class is called College and Career Awareness. I remember about 3 or 4 years ago it was called CTE Intro, Career and Technical Education Introduction, and I went to this big statewide meeting thing, and they introduced us to a new class that we're going to be teaching, a rewrite of a previous class called College and Career Awareness. And I thought to myself, seriously, for 7th and 8th graders, can you think of a more boring name than College and Career Awareness? Doesn't that just sound like a boring class?
Yeah.
That's just like the worst name for a class. But you know, and then while I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is a kind of boring name, Mr. Ray, who is the teacher next door, some of you know, he pointed to the first letter of every word here. So college and career awareness. He just took his pencil and pointed to it, and we both realized at the same time that we were going to be teaching Kaka.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kaka.
Oh.
I'm your teacher, Mr. P. And we're going to learn about lots of interesting things.
Oh,
True
God.
story. I know, right? Okay, well, I guess they use this ampersand to hide it, but this class is taught by 3 teachers in Granite Park. I get you for a quarter of the year. Mr. Beard gets you for a quarter of the year. Mr. Rady gets you for half the year. So, your schedule looked like one of 2. Raise your hand if you had Mr. Rady last semester. Okay, excellent. Raise your hand if you have Mr. Rady this semester right now. So your schedule looks like this, where you're actually taking all of CCA the second half of the year. Regardless, you're getting a year-long class between all 3 teachers. And this is my section right here. So, what do we do in this class? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. One of the big things that we're going to do is we're going to talk about your future options. We're going to talk about the kinds of things you might want to do in life. Now, as I've talked to many Granite Park students, typically they give me one of 3 answers. I say, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a doctor. And I say, oh, that's interesting. Why do you want to be a doctor? Because they make a lot of money. Oh, okay. I say, so what do you want to be? And they say, I'd like to be a lawyer. Huh? Why would you like to be a lawyer? They make a lot of money. Oh, apparently, people like money. And then there's one more group of people. And I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a professional soccer player. I say, why? Because I like soccer. Which is fine. Soccer players are cool, right? Professional sports, right? I mean, people who get in there, make some pretty good money. That's pretty cool. You actually you're more likely to get struck by lightning than to actually get into professional sports. But there are those people that go and, they get into it. If you are seriously interested in professional sports, can I please suggest that you be a part of as many teams as you can and that you play all the time. You are going to compete with people that have been playing that game their entire life. There's actually a whole high school, like over in Harriman, dedicated to teaching people
I've heard
soccer.
of that before.
Right? There's
the RSL Academy.
Yeah, I have a niece that goes there, and it's all about soccer. They fly over England. She went to Spain. They play soccer all these places, and it's about soccer, 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 soccer. Now, if you're in one of those groups, hopefully it's a little easier to get into professional soccer, but still, it's a tough thing to get into. So it's a good idea to have some options or some ideas of different things you might want to do. Maybe soccer's one of them. What's another option or something you think might be an interesting job when you're older? If you don't choose your job will choose you. Raise your hand if you know someone, anyone, that doesn't like the job they have. I think most of us know somebody that doesn't really like their job. And it's probably, some of the time, it's because they didn't get to choose it. The job chose them. If you get out of high school and just try and find a job somewhere, yeah, you're going to end up working at the mall, in the Gap store, or you're going to end up working at McDonald's, or you'll end up working, in some restaurant, doing something, but you don't really get to choose your job. You just have to go with the job that's open. But if you want to choose one of those cool careers that's out there, you got to plan for it. And part of this class's job is to help you plan for that. What I'd like you to do now is, as a group, I want you to start with the person who is tallest at your table. Okay? So figure that person out. You got 5 seconds. 5. Here, who's tall? 4, 3, 2. He's actually slightly taller. She's slightly taller. 2, 1, and cut. Okay, so what I would like to have happen next is the person who's tallest at the table. I would like you to start and say a job that you think would be cool to have when you're, maybe it's not the job for you, but a cool job you think would be cool to have when you're older. And you're going to go clockwise, which is this direction. You're going to go in this order, and everyone will share the job they think will be cool. And then at the end, I'm going to have you as a table come up with the most interesting job anyone came up with, and you're going to share that to the class. So first of all, just share everyone one job, going around the circle like this, starting with the tallest person that you think might be a cool job to have. Go ahead and talk. Go. History teacher. So who's the first person? Who's the top? Don't talk to each other. So did you tell them what job you want? What do you say? What? 3D animator would be awesome. We can do some 3D animation here. What? We're gonna do animation here. Yeah. What's the job you think would be cool? An engineer, okay. Software engineer? That'd be awesome. Pediatric nurse, wow. So now as a table decide which job are you going to share as a table? What do you think would be most interesting for the rest of the class to hear? Oh, never even thought about that job. Everybody share? Now as a group, and figure out which job you would be most interesting to share with the class. Which job of all these jobs are people going to be like, oh, that's actually going to come back. Everybody share? So of all the 4 jobs shared, which of all the jobs do you think people work with? Decide one job for each. Okay. Here? No. Sorry. Where the tables before?
We got that table and that table.
This is where, yeah, so one here, one there. You guys choose. All right, so let's share out. Right back here. What's the job you guys chose as a table? What's an interesting job you guys came up with?
3D animator.
3D animator. Raise your hand if you ever heard of a 3D animator. Some of you? Cool. This is a growing field. Yes?
You couldn't agree.
You couldn't agree. Give me one.
Criminal defense attorney.
A criminal defense attorney. So I do something bad, or maybe I do something bad, or somebody thinks I do something bad, and I go to Malika, and she's like, I got you. Figure this out. I'll save your butt. I'm like, cool, thank you. Right? Know what you do? Okay, that's cool. Right, what do you got? What's one here? Culinary arts? Chef. So you are making fancy foods. Sounds awesome. How about this guy? This group. A personal makeup artist. A professional makeup artist. Okay. Okay, that sounds cool. Work on movie sets? All right, next time they're like, we need really cool looking aliens. You're like, okay, gotta figure something out. That'll be makeup. Okay, over here. A what? A tourist? A tourist is something that you can do, but it's not a professional job. A tourist is someone who goes to countries and like checks them out and spends money, but you don't make money doing that. How can you make money? A tour guide, yeah, you can be a tour guide. So you live in an area, get people tourists to that place. Okay, cool. And this group? A biologist, studying the insides of organisms, whatever they are. Yeah, a marine biologist for animals in the sea. Stuff. Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CCA. Hopefully, we'll learn about some stuff that might be interesting for you to do later in life. We have this really cool thing called the GTI. Every high school and grad school district takes a bus to the GTI. And if you take classes up there, they have things like, home dentist office. You learn how to be a dentist or a dental hygienist. They just bought like 2 more flight simulators where you go into, you can like learn what it's like to fly a plane and go into aviation, become a pilot. They have a lot of really cool stuff over there. And hopefully we'll talk about some of those things in this class so that you know what you want to do maybe in high school, do some more of, and then maybe it'll lead to a job someday, right? In this class in particular, we're going to do some animation. Animation is a lot of fun. Some of you I know like it. We're going to jump into agriculture. We're going to talk about some of the jobs involved in where your food comes from. You'll learn a little bit about where your food comes from. Anybody know where chicken nuggets come from McDonald's? We're going to watch a whole video on that.
Oh.
Exciting. How about software? We had some people interested in software. I hope that if you're interested in software, you don't type like this. This is, by the way, super the wrong way to type. We've got how business works. We're going to talk about some basic business stuff and some money stuff, some finance stuff. We're going to talk about some coding. We're going to talk about some graphic design, some Photoshop stuff.
I do that.
So if you've ever done Photoshop before,
Flappy Bird.
fun, yeah, some fun things. So before we get to any of that, I do have to talk about some class rules. I have 3 really important class rules. Class rule number 1.
I'll pick you up after school.
Come on, you guys, stop it! It is Jack!
What's wrong with his feet?
He looks funny! Ow! Hey, what'd I do?
Be nice. It's his first time at school.
He was born with it, kids. We call it his lucky.
Lucky fit.
I have one of those.
What's a lucky fit?
Awesome. Well, Finding Nemo has the lucky fit, as you can see.
What's that?
Take a look at his fit.
Oh,
Is he lucky? Kind of like he's deformed, right?
yeah.
He has a fin that never grew the right size. This fin's big. When he swims, if you watch the movie, he goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to move one a lot faster than the other. If he just did both at the same time, he just turns circles. Now, we all have lucky fins. No, we're not fish. We're not fish, right? But we all have something in our lives that makes our life tough. And some people might know about it, but you probably have stuff in your life that nobody knows about, and you don't want to tell anybody about, and it's just tough stuff in your life. And that's okay, but we all have to deal with things. We all have to deal with tough stuff. For example, I had a kid who sat back there a couple years ago, and he kept falling asleep in class. I'd be like, wake up, man, wake up. He'd be like, yeah, no way, wake up, man. I found out a couple weeks later that he had been kicked out of his house. He was living in a car. That his baby sister sat in the back seat and cried all night long. He sat in the front seat and tried to sleep, but couldn't because his baby sister cried all night. Now, is that a tough situation?
Yeah.
That's an example of a lucky fit, something in his life that's just hard right now. I had another girl. She comes into my class. She sat back there by that tree. And she was a popular kid. A lot of people liked her. She had a lot of friends. And one day she was just crying, all these tears, like freaking out. I was like, did you break up with your boyfriend? I don't know what happened. And she's like, oh. And I just, I had a friend went over and talked to her, and I just kind of let her be. And counselors came there and said, yeah, well, her mom this morning, that girl's mom, she attempted suicide. So she woke up in the morning to find that her mom had tried to kill herself, and she actually made it to school. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And there are crazy stories like this that happen all the time, and we don't hear about them. Most people don't shout. We don't. Hey, guess what about this kid? We don't tell these things, but they happen to everybody, and they're probably happening in this classroom right now. And it's really important to me that this classroom is a safe place. Now, I hope that Granite Park, all of Granite Park, is a safe place. But I don't have control over everything. But I have control over this class. So this classroom has got to be a safe place. And so the first rule of my class is to be nice. Because when people walk in and they're having a hard time, they might not look like they're having a hard time. They might have a cool face like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm down. But inside, they could be breaking. And we have to be nice to everybody. The easiest thing to do when somebody's mean to you is to be mean back. I challenge you, when you're in this classroom, if somebody says something mean to you, just either let it go or just be nice to that person. And you'd be surprised the friends you can make if we're just a little bit nicer. There's a lot of mean people in this world. We don't need any more. Are we cool with that? Okay, can we just be nice? I just want to be safe in here. Okay, rule number 1, big pink letters right up there, be nice. Rule number 2 is, take a look.
Oh, thanks, Mike. a little something, shall I?
I'll start the testimonies. Hello, my name is Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
It has been 3 weeks since my last fish. On my honour, or may I be chopped up and made into soup.
You're an inspiration to all of us.
Amy.
Right then, who's next?
Pick me.
Yes, the little Sheila down the front. Come on up here.
Hi, I'm Dory.
Hello, Dory.
And, I don't think I've ever eaten a fish.
Hi, that's incredible.
Good on you, mate.
She's never eaten fish. Now, we don't have a rule against eating fish in this class, but can you show me, don't tell me, but can you show me what Dory did that you think might be the second rule of class? Oh, some of you got that. Good. Yep, that is correct. So, rule number 2, to raise your hand. So, rule number 2, raise your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, it just helps us maintain order in the class. If you've got a comment, just be like, I'll be like, yeah. You'll be like, tell me a little bathroom. I'll be like, sure, or whatever, right? Okay, raise your hand. And rule number 3, take a look.
Do you know where my dad is?
Honey, your dad's probably back at the pet store.
Pet store?
Yeah, you know, like, I'm from Bob's Fish Mart.
Alice.
Fisher Evan.
Mail order.
eBay.
So, which one is it?
I'm from the ocean.
Ah, the ocean. The ocean! Ah! He hasn't been decontaminated yet. Jacques! Oui. Clean him! Oui. Ocean! Ooh, la mer. Oh. Voilà, he is clean.
Rule number 3 is?
Be clean.
To be clean. Hallelujah. Yes. So you've got be nice, you got raise your hand, you got be clean. 3 rules. Pretty simple. Now, be clean actually has lots of meanings to it. So let's bring it back to, caca, right? So as you can see here, this is what we call a toilet. I hope you know what this is.
No.
I don't need to describe what this is used for, right? If you've never used one of these, I don't know what your house looks like, but it's probably a scary place. You know what I'm talking about? You're not getting it, right? No. This is what we call a toilet, and they're very useful to have around. Now, I want you to imagine something with me for a second. I want you to think about walking into a bathroom here at Grant Park, right? Grab the toilet seat.
No.
Just feel that porcelain.
No.
It's nice and smooth, round, right? Okay, now let's walk over to the stall next to it and grab that toilet seat. Yeah, it feels good, right? Right. Oh, let's go over here. Oh, let's feel this toilet seat. This is a 3rd toilet seat. Oh, it feels nice. Yeah, it's a nice shape, right? Oh, let's go to the boys' bathroom. There's the urinal, right? Let's feel the urinal. It feels good. It's nice and smooth. There's another urinal. Let's feel this one. Oh, it's really nice urinal. What a nice urinal. Now, wait. Let's go ahead and open that bag of hot Cheetos we got. Okay? Now, let's open them and let's eat them.
No!
So tasty. Oh, no, they're gone. The best part, everybody. Oh, lick off your fingers. Oh, so good. Throw the bag away. Boom, we good. Now, did anything bother any of you about that story? Yeah. Well, the truth is, we're taught, we're ingrained to know that the toilet is a really dirty place. But truth is, there's actually places up to 5 times dirtier than the toilet at our school. And they are the 2 dirtiest places, the drinking fountain and the computer keyboard. Yes, that is correct, up to 5 times dirtier. Which is kind of like, when you're typing on your keyboard and you're eating your Cheetos, it's basically like you're dipping them in the toilet and eating them, right? I mean, that's just what it's like. So please don't do that. That's just really gross, right? Now, some people say, Mr. Pettit, why is a drinking fountain disgusting? Well, imagine a bunch of people, their saliva dripping in with this and kind of sitting here in this nice, warm, wet place on the drinking fountain. And when you have things that are wet and warm, bacteria just thrive and they just grow and multiply, and then you end up with things that get you sick real quick. Or the computer keyboard, imagine all the skin cells and little food particles that fall off your fingers and end up in the keys. And it's kind of like a piece of bread in the back of your closet at home that's been there for a couple of months and starting to grow stuff. You don't know what it is, but it looks nasty. Colorful maybe, but That's the kind of thing that's happening in keyboards. And you sit there and you leave your hands on it. And the person who's here before you is coughing on it. And all that stuff just sits there because we don't clean the keyboards very often. They're really hard to clean with all those little cracks and crevices in them. And then we just touch them. And then especially when kids bring in food and they just eat. I'm like, why? Why would you dip your Cheetos in the toilet? It's so gross. So ladies and gentlemen, you come here after lunch. I would really appreciate it if you would just make sure your hands are clean when you come, right? Do what you can, make sure your hands are clean. Washing your hands will go a long way to helping all of us stay a little bit healthier and a little bit happier, right? I mean, come on, no? Okay, so please, wash your hands. It's kind of a big deal. And my computer lost sync, so let me reconnect. There we go. Okay, wash your hands. See?
Pretty cool.
With suds on your hands, right? You want the suds on your hands. Now, where do the most germs reach your hands? You know?
People.
Right? A lot of germs in your hands are underneath your fingernails. So when you wash your hands, it's a nice idea to, like this, you know? You need to mix the soap with the water. And the soap doesn't kill the germs. Do you know that? Yeah. You rub the soap all over your hands, and what it does is it collects that bacteria and those germs inside the soap, and then when you put it under the water, it washes all those germs down in the sink. That's why washing your hands works. It's not actually killing stuff, really. It's just washing down the sink. So we need to make sure we do that regularly so that we don't get sick, right? Another thing that can be difficult. Have you ever gone to a classroom and sat down next to somebody and it was hard to breathe?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's important to shower pretty regularly or we stink. In fact, I once had somebody tell me that people can smell you like 3 to 4 days before you can smell yourself. So you might wake up in the morning and smell your armpits and be like, yeah, I'm good. And the person next to you is having a seizure. Okay? So you want to make sure that, to be nice to everyone, you keep yourself clean. Now, if you have trouble buying soap or shampoo or deodorant or any of those things, you don't have them, talk to your counselor, Miss Bowers, Miss Johnson, Miss Ballish. They have stuff they can give you if you need it. You just walk in like, hey, I need to talk to my counselor. Miss Ballish is like, what's up? And you're like, hey, I don't have any deodorant. Do you have any? She's like, oh, yeah. She's got this big stockpile. She's like, here, take some. No one needs to know. But now you have stuff that you need. So take care of what you need. Counselors are here to help you out. But we want to make sure that we have a good learning environment and bad smells in the classroom and get hard to learn. Anyone ever been to the dance room?
No.
And smelled that place with everyone's shoes off?
My sister goes in there. She yells at me all the time. Why does it smell so bad?
Right, it smells horrible. Right now, we want, they can't really do much about it because they're taking shoes off, right? But in here, hopefully, we can keep the smells out, right? Now, the next thing is clean language. There are these things that we have called swear words.
Right.
And in my classroom, we don't use them. I myself, as a human being, don't swear. Truth is, I've been married to my wife 15 years this May. She has never heard me say a swear word because I don't swear. I don't swear at home. I don't swear when I'm angry. I don't swear. I just don't ever swear. I've just decided not to. And you might do different things at your house, but my guess is most of your parents don't actually like you to swear either. Now, I remember thinking when I was an early teacher here, I've been here for 12 years, I remember thinking, I think some of the kids at Granite Park, they just swear at home all the time. That's just like normal. And then I found out that wasn't true. I had a kid, great kid, head of the A staff. This kid was amazing several years ago. And seriously, a genius kid. One day, he comes to parent-teacher conferences. I sit down there, and here he comes up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I get to talk about this kid. This kid's great. All right, come on, Mom, let me talk to you. This kid's amazing. He's like so creative. He's like a freaking genius. This kid's just like so cool. Like I wish like all my other students could be like as genius as this kid. Like he's just so talented. He can do all the stuff. He's just amazing. And the mom looks at me, she's like this. Like with this like cranky face, And I just keep talking about how great this kid is. And then she stops me. She's like, what can he do better? I was like, I don't know. He's like a really amazing kid. Like this kid just, no. What can he do better? I'm like, I think he's really an amazing, like he's really talented. What can he do better? I'm like, okay, I gotta think of something. What can this kid do better? What can this kid do better? And then I remember the other day, he had this thing and he had this food and it fell off the table. And he was really upset and he said a bad word, right? And so I thought, I'm like, well, I guess maybe he could swear less? My mom was like, you swear? And the kid just looked at me like, Pettit, what have you done? And then he came to school the next day. He was grounded for 2 weeks. No games, no friends, just nothing. Like he was just grounded for 2 weeks. And he was kind of mad at me. And I tried to talk him up, but I realized that day that although he did occasionally swear in my classroom, his parents didn't know it. So I asked some of my class, like, hey, do you guys like swear at home? Because I just figured they did. Almost everyone was like, yeah, our parents don't always swear either. There were a couple of kids that swear at home, but most kids don't. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I happen to know that if I was to call your parents, many of them would probably say, yeah, my kids should be swearing in your class. So if swearing in the hallway or swearing in a classroom is something you feel inclined to do a lot or that you often do, please know that in this classroom, we got to turn that off. There are going to be jobs you're going to have someday, and you can't swear in those jobs. Like, what if you're an ER doctor, and this kid walks in? I was in an ER once, and the kid, this little girl, she was like 4 years old. Her leg was split from here to here, just split open. You can see her muscle and her bone and all this stuff. Now, if the doctor had walked up and been like, oh, what the beep did you do to yourself? I'd be like, you just can't do that, right? I mean, you got to be able to turn off the swearing. If you can't think of something more intelligent to say, then maybe just don't say anything at all. Just hold your tongue until you can think of something appropriate to say, and then say it. Sound good?
Yeah.
So in my classroom, we have no swearing. Well, please, we want to keep it safe in here. No swearing. Finally, I don't like talking about this one, but I have to because I've had trouble with it. Not very often, but occasionally. If something pops up on your computer that you don't think your mom would want you to look at, you probably shouldn't be looking at it. If something's on your computer and Mr. Pettit's starting to walk by and you're thinking like, oh, I better close this quick, you probably shouldn't be on it, okay? Now, I can tell on my computer, I can see everywhere you've been and I can see how long you've been there for. So if something pops up, and even if it's like, just like addictinggames.com or something like that, and it's been on your screen, and I look up your name and it says, oh yeah, Addicting Games was on the screen for 3 minutes. Does that mean you actually went there and stayed there for 3 minutes during class? Or even more likely, it's like 20 minutes. Yeah, so don't go there. I can see everywhere you've been. If I see that something bad popped up on your computer, and it was open for 0.5 seconds, like half a second, that means you closed it quick, right? And that's okay. If something pops up, you close it quick. Just get out of there as quick as you can. And I know that, oh yeah, he was only there for 0.5 seconds. Obviously, it was a weird mistake. Something popped up. He didn't know what to do. Cool, it's fine. But if it's up there for a long time, like 20 seconds, like I've seen before, you know how long 20 seconds is?
No.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Is this too long?
Yeah.
That's way too long to be on anything. So ladies and gentlemen, please, let's keep it cool on computers in terms of what we see, what we use, and what we do. Okay? All right, so it is now time for the Pettit Pledge. That's right, Pettit Pledge. So in review, be nice, raise your hand, be clean. Those are my 3 rules. I would like all of you to stand up. Please take your arm and put it up like this. Please repeat after me. Say, I.
I.
Now say your whole name.
Promise.
Promise. To do my best. To follow Pettit's rules. I will be nice. I will raise my hand. And I will be clean. And if I break these rules, I will suffer the consequences. However terrible they may be. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a seat. You are now under oath to follow all 3 of my rules, to be nice, to raise your hand, and be clean. And I appreciate right here that fabulous hand raise. Follow rule number 2. Your name, please, and then your question.
Ian Tarundi?
Wait, what?
Ian Tarundi.
Ian?
Yes.
Ian, please, what's your question, Ian?
Why were you so loud?
Because my voice cannot contain the energy that I wish to share with you, my friend. There you go. All right. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I want you to know that I'm a human being,
Yeah.
just like you are. That I bleed blood just like you do. That I was once a student like you are now. That I went to college like I hope that you did. I'm going to tell you about me. My name, Mr. Pettit, actually comes from France. The word Pettit is an English or Americanized version of petit, which means small or little. You can still find the petite section at the mall. It is the women's section. So, if you were to walk around and look for the women's section, in there you'll find the petite section, which is for the little women and the clothes that they wear. Not French clothes, just what they wear. And yeah, I actually had a kid who sat right over here one day, like all year long he called me Mr. Women's Section. It was not my favorite nickname. This is me and my daughter several years ago. Truthfully, my life started when these two people met each other.
Who's that?
This is my mother and my father.
Oh.
Who do I look more like?
Your
Neither.
mom.
Mom?
Neither.
Some people said dad. Okay, cool. Truthfully, I'm a mix of both of them. See, they fell in love, and then they got married. This is my father and mother again. This is my grandmother and grandfather. Now, this lady was very particular. She made me call her grandmother. She was never grandmother. It was grandmother. And that was my mother's mother and my mother's father. Several years after they got married, I was born. So, no, I am not the blonde one.
Wait.
Goodness gracious, people. No, I'm the baby in the front here. This is me. I got older. And as a kid, I loved Disney. Like, I thought that being an animator for Walt Disney Studios would be the coolest thing in the world. I loved to draw. I could draw for hours and hours and hours. I wanted to be. In fact, I even started this special club at school where we got to animate stuff because I just thought it was so cool. And then, after loving Disney for a while, I grew to really get into comic books. I thought comic books were super cool. My favorite superhero for a while was Batman. Now, I want you to take a look at my face. My brother Nate here, he's just happy to be here. But if you look at my face, you'll see closely that I wasn't just pretending to be Batman. I was Batman. and I know that, the belt thing is a little weird, but I really was Batman back then. It was kind of a good time in my life. Also, for a while, I'd play Superman sometimes. I thought superheroes were really cool. Now, if you take a look at that building behind me, that was a house that my dad built. We lived in an apartment in Houston, Texas, and we were not very rich. In fact, the rent got so high, we couldn't afford to live there anymore. And so we had to leave. My dad didn't have a ton of money. He was working, doing some computers were brand new, and he was just playing around with some new computer stuff at NASA, which is like the space. He wasn't, a fancy science job. He was just kind of a low-level computer person at NASA. But he decided that he was going to buy some land without a house on it, and he was going to build his own house. Yeah. So for a long time, we didn't have running water. We didn't have electricity. We had this pump thing. And we put these buckets under this pump, and then they would dump it on us, and that was our bath. As kids, we didn't have a lot. My dad, after a while, got really tired of being poor. He was like, you know what, I'm done with this. And he tried and tried. It took him several times. He eventually made his way to medical school. And one of the reasons he was able to actually get in is because he had some experience with computers, and they didn't have a lot of doctors or people who want to be doctors, but also had some technology experience. Computers were new, and so he got in that way, and he became a doctor. Now, you've probably seen this before. Anybody ever had their eyes checked for glasses? This is what you call an optometrist. This is somebody who checks your vision to see if you need glasses and what kind of glasses to give you a prescription for glasses. But he actually became what's called an ophthalmologist. And so what he does is eye surgery. So this is actually my dad. I filmed him last summer. In the surgery room. He's the chief of surgery at the Grand Mountain Hospital now. He does very well, makes plenty of money, and his job is he cuts open people's eyeballs. He sucks up with a special little vacuum they break apart the old lens, they suck it up, and then they stick in a new lens into their eye. And yes, they are awake when they do this to you.
Oh,
True story.
Okay,
They give them these crazy eye drops and stuff to make it shot so they can't feel anything, but they are awake when that happens. There you go.
Why can't
My dad, being a doctor, which some of you, as I went around, said they would be interesting. A doctor is an interesting job. And I hope that when you think about whatever job you think about, you don't just think about it in terms of how much money it makes. My dad now makes a fair amount of money, but there's a lot of ups and downs involved with being a doctor. Example. A good thing. My dad came home today and told a story of this old lady that came into his office, and he gave her some drops, and they did like some laser stuff on her eye, and she came back later, and she just started to cry. And she said, Dr. Pettit, I have never been able to see my grandchildren before, and now I can see them for the first time. And that was a powerful, to be a doctor and actually give someone their sight, that's a powerful thing. At the same time, I remember one day mowing the lawn in my house in Oregon, and my dad drove up and he freaked out. He's like, you need eye protection, put on some safety goggles. And I'm like, what the heck? He's like, he was in the office, and this dad had been mowing his lawn. And his little, 3 or 4 year old girl was playing on the side, and he had been mowing, and a rock got cut in the lawnmower and shot out. And his little girl in the eye, she went blind. Couldn't save it. Sometimes you can give people their sight back, and sometimes you can't. The body's a crazy thing, and we don't have medicine and fixes for everything. And so you have good and you have the bad. My dad likes being an ophthalmologist or an eye surgeon because one reason is because there's not a lot of blood, and because people don't typically die. Like they go blind, he might have to take someone's driver's license away and say, sorry, you can't drive anymore because you can't see well, but they don't die in his office. If you're an ER doctor and a mom brings in her kid who can't breathe, and then the kid dies, you have to be a part of that. Or a regular doctor, or even a pediatrician, when a kid comes to you and they develop cancer, you try and help them, and they don't get better. And you have to go to the mom and dad and say, sorry, you didn't make it. I mean, those are hard things that doctors get to do sometimes. So when you think about a job, you want to think about all those different pieces of it. What do you really, really want? I love, as I told you earlier, I love to take people from being, maybe okay at something, and making them great at it. I love doing that. I want to make you guys good at everything we do. If we do animation or we learn about this, I want us to really get everything, and that's fun for me. I love being a teacher. When you think about what you love, maybe consider that as about the job you want to have. My parents are still together. They both live in Oregon still. This is my family. I'm the one on the right. I got older. I grew up in Oregon, went to high school in Oregon. This is me and the wife, some of my younger brothers. I went to BYU for a year. I loved BYU. It was a great college. And I don't think it had to be BYU. It could have been the University of Utah. It could have been UVU. College was great. And I'm going to tell you one reason why college is amazing and why you got to go. Let me tell you. First of all, I met all these people at college. I didn't know any of them before. You get to meet lots of people at college, and what I love about it is you get to meet people like you. Because if you want to study dance because you love dance, when you go to college, you study dance. You take dance classes, and everyone in those classes really wants to be there learning dance. You ever go to school or have a class, even right now or in elementary school, and you have the kid in the back who's like, this is boring, what are we doing, blah, blah, blah. They kind of mess up stuff. Those kids do not exist in college. Everyone in your class wants to be in that class. It's amazing. My wife, she wanted to study art. And so she took lots of art classes. She learned stained glass. She learned clay. She learned watercolor. She learned oils. She learned drawing, figure drawing. All sorts of really cool stuff she got to do. And everyone in her classes wanted to learn all that same stuff. How many math classes did she take in college? 0.
Oh, thank God.
She didn't have to take math in college because what she went into didn't require any more math than she had already taken in high school. She got that taken care of in high school. In college, she was going to go into art. Artists don't need to have a ton of math in. I had another friend who wanted to become an engineer, and he took tons of math classes, and he loved it because his brain worked out when he loved that stuff. As a business teacher, I had to take 1 math class. Actually, I did college. Most people do college in 4 years. I took 5 years because I was kind of slow. But in 5 years of college, I took 1 math class. That was it. Because I needed that for my class, for for my major. So depending on what you want to go into, depends on the kind of class you take. And it's just really cool. Yeah.
Is there any math and history?
Is there any math and history?
Yes.
Probably not.
Oh, thank God.
But I don't know. So it depends on the college. If you take high enough level of math in high school, you probably will not have to take math in college if you take enough in high school.
I have a
I'm
question.
going to do
Yeah.
math in college.
Is math involved in 3D animation?
Math is involved in 3D animation.
Really?
Yeah,
What
you will have to
kind?
do some. You probably won't. You won't have to do what the engineers do, but you will have to understand some elements of 3D animation. 3D animation is where you create things that exist in three-dimensional space. You'll have to understand x-axis and y-axis. You'll also have to understand tweening, which we can talk about later. You'll have to understand some functions and curves and things. Not a ton of math, but some. Yeah, you'll probably want some of that. You'll take a lot of art classes. A lot of computer art classes you'll take. And BYU actually has a really good, I think UVU has a pretty good one too, but BYU has some connection with Pixar.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
And,
what?
and they just, in fact, the GTI, here at Granite School District, you can go to the GTI and they have this massive lab where they put you on Maya and they teach you how to do three-dimensional cartoons. And they take a field trip every year down to Pixar, where they go and they yeah, it's a part of the high school class. You can do that in high school, man.
What?
That's very cool,
What?
right? Now, there's a lot, guys, whatever you're into, there's stuff for you too. Whatever you're into, learn about it, become good at it. Otherwise, your job's going to choose you. You know, when you get out of high school, if that's all you do, then yeah, we'll get a job at Jimmy John's or something. But that's not really what you want to do for your whole life, probably. You want to choose what you want to do, and the way to choose is to purposefully plan and decide now, starting now, what are the kinds of classes you want to take to get you ready for it. It's pretty cool. Any questions so far? No? Okay, let me tell you. After I went to college, I took a 2-year break. I got in an airplane, and I flew, and the airplane, because of wind currents and things, actually flies up and around, and I landed on a little peninsula on the east side of Asia, a country called
South Korea.
Korea. Very good. Yeah, South Korea, not North Korea. They probably would have killed me if I went to North Korea. I was in South Korea for 2 years. South Korea looks kind of like this. This is me here. I spent most of my time in a place called Busan, which was in a big city. Again, this is me. And then I went back to BYU. Is that the bell?
No, it's not. That's why we're up. No, that's the bell.
Hey, guys, is that the bell?
Yeah.
Wow! All right, ladies and gents, go to college, have an awesome life, and we will see you next time. Peace!
You went to South Korea, Washington University back in Missouri.
Edit. I'm editing the Help Those in Need.
Which one?
Help Those in Need.
Oh, that's great. We got good shots in there.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for your
Jasmine Alexander, please come to the counseling center. Jasmine Alexander to the counseling center.
No, it's for Korean. What's that?
Yes.
Is that yours?
That bell came a lot earlier than I expected. I was not planning on that bell coming. I still had 5 minutes to go. Oh. Digital lit. Animation 3. What's up? To do what? Yeah. To your class?
Yeah, so ask them if I could like vlog, like, or they did like what we normally do in my class.
That'd be awesome. That'd be super cool.
What camera?
I want you to take a 7. That'll be easier for you. I want it. Well, keep it happy. Like what we really want is for people to look at a peek at Granite Park and be like, "Dang, that school's cool." Yeah. Right. So make sure there's not like secret bad stuff behind the scenes. You know, you want it to be fun and positive. Who's the teacher that let you do it? Oh, see, that could be a great class. What is this?
That's from the restaurant next door to the one we went to.
Oh, really? You're so nuts.
Alright, I'm gonna come before 5th to grab the camera.
This looks awesome. Wow, thank you, Tom.
Okay.
But,
So I'm come before 5th to get the camera.
okay, sounds good. Hello, hello.
Reminder.
Mr. Ray.
Thanks.
I know what I'm gonna do next year, Tom. I'm gonna go by myself over here. I'm lonely.
No, it was like this magenta color, and I bleached it over the spray paint so that I could go live in my happy face. Yeah. It looks cool, but it doesn't feel good.
It feels well, what happens if like the hair's all black after that?
And also you have to make sure that you're the only guy bleaching hair with the that's why my hair turned out like this. Because it still had some of the hair dye.